What's up, Clination? It's your girl Leah Clinay, back with another video.
They was trying to flip a bouquet, but I was pushing up daisies. Rest in peace, G, my Daisy. I push the Cadillac daily. Yeah, I got brothers that duck indictments with mothers at home praying. And I do what I do, and I do it well, and that's true. Stall them out, stall me out, different wall, falling out, stall them out.
And today, if you can guess, well, you already know by the title, but as you can see, I'm sitting down, I'm chilling with my own teddy bear. So you should already know what's about to go down. I'm back with another story time for you guys. As you see by the title, you already know what it's about. So before we get into the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the post notification bell so you get notified every time I post. And also, while you're here, go ahead and screenshot my page and go ahead and share it to your story on all your social media platforms, so that way we can get my channel out there and keep growing, because we're almost at 400 subscribers. Other than that, you guys, we're just about to get straight into the video. So as you can see by the title, this story is about the scariest thing I've ever experienced. I know a lot of people have experienced stuff as far as like paranormal, if that's how you pronounce it, or like things with ghosts or whatever. Growing up, I have been so blessed. You know, I think it's because I got Jesus in my heart, but I've been blessed where I haven't really experienced stuff like that. Nah, because if I have, I know for a fact I would know, I would remember, because that's one of my biggest fears, is experiencing anything like that. That's not, you know, that's evil or whatever you want to say. I don't even like talking about it. But I've been procrastinating on doing this video because I get a little scared. No, I don't get scared, because I don't let it get to me, because that's how you let the stuff get to you, if you be scared of it. I'm not scared, but I just be like, I don't want to do a story time on it and then I'll be scared to go to sleep at night, that type of thing. But it's not even that bad. I know some people have been through a lot worse or have experienced a lot worse, but this is my story. This is the scariest thing that I've experienced. Or let's see, because it might not be that scary to y'all, but I would say like unusual thing that I've experienced. But anyway, I'm about to stop rambling. I'm about to just get straight into it. Basically, one night, I'm trying to remember exactly, and me and my best friend at the time, we hung out like 24/7. So it was just a typical night. I think it was, I can't remember if we was working that day and it was when we got off, or we had just been hanging out that day. I really can't remember. I just remember I was taking her home and I was about to drop her off because it was dark, it was late, and I had to get home because, you know, I had stuff to do. So I'm dropping her off at her house and we're just talking, because every time I drop her off, either I go in and talk or I just sit in the car and, we sit in the car and just talk forever before I actually leave. So we were sitting in the car just talking about who knows what. But I'm gonna just kind of paint a picture of y'all. I'm gonna paint a picture for y'all so y'all can kind of see and go along with me. So we're sitting in the car, you know, like I'm sitting right now, so we're facing her crib or whatever. Her crib was like over here to my right, and then it's like this house, because her place is like connected to other people's places, so it's like a little parking lot. And then to our left, on this side of the car, it's like this house that's by itself. So I'm pulled into the parking lot and I'm just sitting, and my car is right here, and then the house is right here. So we're sitting there, we're talking, and you know, it's dark. It's always, you know, like birds flying or like leaves moving, trees moving, stuff like that. But I was sitting there, and mind you, I'm just, as of right now, I'm gonna let you know what was going on in my head before me and her noticed anything together. So we're talking, and I could have sworn like I seen something in the corner of my eye. Not like a person or a ghost or nothing weird. It was just like something kind of went by my eye. Like, you know how like you're looking or you're talking and something in your peripheral vision, like you can't see it fully, but it kind of catches your attention, but not to the point where you turn. That's what it was. But I didn't think nothing of it, because like I told y'all, I never have even experienced anything like odd. So that my mind never went there. I just assumed, I don't know, we outside, I don't know, maybe a tree or a leaf fell or something. So I just ignored it. And me and her talking, and like I want to say it happened like once or twice, I can't remember, but I just remember noticing something. So the whole time she noticed it too, but she was the same way as me, like it was just in her head, like she just noticed it, but it was like the first time she noticed it, so neither one of us brought it up because we just didn't think nothing of it. So we just continued to talk to each other even though we had noticed something. We both don't know that we know. Okay, put it this way, we both don't know that we know yet, but we both know, if that makes sense. So we just keep talking, and it happens again, but this time it's very, what's the word, obvious. Like the other times, I can't really speak for her, but more so like me, because I can tell you exactly what I saw. The other times it was like something quick and I wasn't paying attention, so I wasn't for sure. Like I said, it could have been like a leaf that flew by or a bird. So, but that time it was very obvious. We both seen it, and both caught our attention enough to like stop talking and look. And to this day, I still have no idea what it was. I'm just gonna try to explain, but like I said, it's hard to explain because I don't know what it was. So we're sitting there, and like I told y'all, it's this house right here, and I think earlier that night it was like a couple kids that was playing out, like that was sitting outside, standing outside talking, but they had been walked off or whatever. So at first we thought it was one of them, but wasn't nobody around. But just to explain kind of what it was, the house is right here. So we saw like a black shadow swipe across the house, and this is what kind of freaked us out, the fact that it was a shadow up against the house. It wasn't even a shadow, I don't know what it was, but it went by, but it didn't just stay on the house, like it just swooped by. But yeah, y'all, in this story time, he gonna come up in it, he even remembers it, so he can vouch for me, I'm not lying. Alright, so still to this day, I don't know what it was. It wasn't a shadow because, shut up, stop. It wasn't a shadow because it didn't stay. You know how a shadow like is bouncing off of like an object, like a house or something? It didn't stay on the house, like it swooped past the house and it kept going. And it just like, it won't even on the house, put it that way. We were just talking like maybe it was a shadow, but no, it wasn't on the house. It came, like I'm sitting in my car, my window's right here, it literally came past the car, like it came past the window and just kept going. It wasn't a shadow, like I know for a fact, I know what a shadow is. So the whole time we're thinking, we look at each other, we like, did you see that? Because like, remember I told y'all I had seen something like that at first, but I'm thinking I'm tripping, so I didn't even bring it up. But at that point, we both looked at each other and like, did you see that? I'm like, yes, I saw that. Like, I been saw something, but I didn't even say nothing. I'm like, bro, you for real? Like, me too. We sat there, tried to figure out so hard what it was. We thought maybe a shadow, but we both was like, no way it could be a shadow, because it won't like on the house. It came like right past us, like as if I went in the car, it would have swooped past my face. It feel like we're thinking maybe on the side where you can't really see, it's like the porch or the door to the house, and maybe, I don't know, we just trying to think of something. But the whole time it wasn't even near us, so it wasn't nobody coming out the house. Still to this day, we have no idea what it was. I'm supposed to be dropping her off. We just sit in the car because I'm scared for her to get out. She's scared to get out. It don't stop there. The story continues. At this point, we're like, okay, you know what? We're just about to leave it alone. Maybe we're just overthinking, we tripping. But the whole time though, we both was like trying to let it go, but at the same time we kept bringing it back up because we like, I know we not tripping, like we not stupid. It'd be different if only one of us noticed and the other didn't. Like, we not tripping, you feel me? So we was so freaked out, so we was like, you know what, we about to just drive off. We gonna go to my boyfriend's house, because I was kind of scared or whatever. So I was like, we're gonna pick him up, he gonna come back with me to drop you off, and I'm gonna go back to his house for a little bit until I go home. So we finally get to his house, he get in the car, we telling him, and he like, y'all probably just tripping, y'all overthinking, whatever. So we drive back to her house, We don't see nothing like that happen again, but at this point we're just like, okay, it's getting late, I gotta go home. She had to work the next day, so I'm like, okay. She like, I'm about to just go in. Then me and him are on the way back to his house. She FaceTimed me and she like, bruh, like, I'm freaked out right now. And I'm like, why? And I'm thinking it's because of what just happened. But she started noticing some stuff in her house that was going on, like stuff that was moved that she didn't move, stuff like that. At this point, because you remember the first time something happened, we both seen it, so it was easier for us to talk about it. At this point, I'm not there. I'm not thinking, I'm not saying, oh, I think she's lying, but it's just I'm not there, so I'm not understanding completely. I'm just trying to calm her down. I'm like, maybe, you know, maybe you're tripping, maybe it's nothing, just be calm, it's okay, you feel me? So I'm kind of just brushing it off a little bit. So like, we finally get off the phone, I'm telling him, and we like, this is kind of weird, but you know, we just thinking we tripping. So then I think he got in the car with me to go get gas. I had to get gas because at this point I'm just scared to drive by myself, but I knew I had to drive home. So he drove with me to get gas. I take him back home, and yeah, so I'm like, okay, I love you. He like, I love you, because it's getting late, I gotta just go ahead and suck it up and go home. But usually when I'm driving home, we stay on the phone anyway. Mind y'all, I live like 30 minutes from where they live and where I work. So I left his house and I made like the first turn to leave. I go down this little road and then I make another turn and I'm like on the road to where like a stoplight and an intersection is. But before I get there, I think the call had disconnected, right? Wait, did it hang up, or is that when the number called me while we was on the phone?
The call was on the phone.
Right. Okay, let me back up a little bit. The call didn't disconnect. On that road where I'm on the way to the intersection or to the light, we on FaceTime, but this number starts calling me, and I usually never, and that's the crazy thing, I don't know why I answered it this night, but I usually never answer unknown numbers that I don't have saved. Even if it looks familiar, I don't tend to answer them. But for some reason, it looked like a familiar number. It was like an 813, and so I'm just like, I'm gonna just answer it. I don't know why I did, given it everything that was happening that night. I just decided to answer it for whatever reason. So I answered the phone. Got my phone right here. So I answered the phone. And mind you, I don't say anything, because usually if this is how I go with unknown numbers, I just say hello. I say nothing else, I just say hello. And y'all, this is the creepiest thing that have ever happened to me. It was an old woman. That was the voice. I can still remember it to this day. It was an old woman, and she was like, hey Leah, that's number one, how you know my name? Number two, this is what she said. Hey Leah, I just wanted to call and see and check it. Did you make it home safe? And I think I said something. Alright y'all, sorry about that. Yeah, my camera had ran out of storage, so I just had to delete a couple stuff, but we almost done with story anyway. I know sometimes I can run my mouth and go too long on story times, but we're almost done. So back to where I was at, the most interesting part was that the lady called me and was like, hey Leah, I just wanted to check and see if you made it home safe. But I swear to God, like, I wish I could copy her voice just so y'all can hear. It was so weird, and it wasn't even like, oh, one of those stories you hear where it's like ghost, or it was like something that sounded like weird, or like ET or something. Like, it sounded like a normal person. I think that's what creeped me out the most. Like, it sounded like a normal person, like an old lady, but I didn't know who it was. I didn't know the number. I didn't ever tell her my name. And if it was somebody I knew, for one, I would have had their number saved. For two, they would have said, hey Leah, this is so and so, especially if it's somebody older. And then for three, I never even talked to nobody earlier that day except for my best friend that I was with and my boyfriend. Like, nobody even knew. Like, it wasn't like it was somebody I knew to where I just left their house and they wanted to check up on me. Like, nobody. So that's what made it so weird. It's like, for one, how do you know my name? And for two, how do you even know that I haven't made it home yet and I just left? And it was even more weird the fact that I was already creeped out and nervous, like, okay, you know, hopefully I make it home safe tonight. So that's what made it worse. It was almost like whatever happened at night, it had some correlation to that, because the person knew what had just happened and they were trying to like ask me, did I make it home safe? And it would have been different like if they didn't say my name, because I know sometimes I do get calls where they be like, hey, did you call my phone? Well, it say you called my phone. Like, I know numbers get mixed up. Maybe they thought it was calling somebody else, checking to see if they made it home safe. But the fact that they said my name is what made it super weird. And I don't even remember, like, I kind of like, I wouldn't say I blacked out, but I was just so freaked out. Like, I don't even remember what I said. I want to say I said, who is this? I think I said, who is this? And they're like, did you make it home? Or they repeated themselves or something. It was just weird. And I think I just immediately hung up because I was so freaked out. And at this point, I told y'all like I was on the way to the street with the intersection and the light. So I finally made it to the light, and nobody, because it's late, so when it gets late, it's not as many people out. So it was like super empty, the road's empty. And I'm like, my heart is pounding fast, so I'm like, okay, this is weird. But I'm like, you know what, it's cool. I'm about to call my boyfriend back really quick. And I tried calling him back, but it wouldn't go through. I just kept going straight to voicemail. And my friend was trying to call, my best friend that I had just left was trying to call me at the same time. Like, but I had just left her. We already been on FaceTime, but she was trying to FaceTime me. I kept trying to answer, it wouldn't let me answer. My boyfriend was trying to FaceTime me, it wouldn't let me answer. Even when I did answer and I picked up the phone, wasn't nothing there. Like, it just went straight to voicemail. Well, not voicemail, but like the phone just ended. And I kept trying to call them. I kept trying to call them. Nobody would answer. Nobody would answer. I called like 7 times. I called him like 7 times. I called my best friend like 7 times. So this is what I do, y'all. At this point, I ain't driving home. I'm not driving 30 minutes home. And mind you, to get to my house, you got to get down some lonesome, creepy roads. So I'm like, heck no. I'm at the light by myself. Nobody around. I made the quickest U-turn ever. And I'm so freaked out. I don't know what's about to happen, because like I told you, I've never experienced something like that in my life. So I didn't know what to expect. I'm just thinking I'm alone. Somebody just called my phone, said they know who I was, that I'm on the way home. And I don't know who the heck it was. Some weird stuff been happening tonight. It was dark. It was empty outside. All I can think about is I'm by myself. All I could think about was something happening and my car stopping and something happening to me. That's all I could think about. So I turned around as quick as possible. I drove back to my boyfriend's house. I'm on the way there. I'm still like freaked out. My hands are shaking. I'm barely able to drive. And I'm trying to call him. I'm trying to call her or somebody so I can be on the phone with somebody so I can feel better. And it was not going through. And she tried to FaceTime me like once or twice, but that's all I got. He tried to FaceTime me. But I ended up just driving back to his house, and I told him that what happened. I was freaked out. When I got there, my phone was back working. Like, I FaceTimed my best friend and told her what was happening. She was like, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah. She was like, you wasn't answering my calls. She was like, I called like 10 times, but I only got like 2 calls. She was like, she kept trying to call me, but it wasn't going through. But on my end, it was ringing, but it wouldn't let me answer. So that was like so weird. He was saying the same thing. Like, he would pick up, but nothing was there. So I'm just like, oh no, I'm not driving home alone. I'll stay down here before I drive home at night. I'd rather drive during the daytime. So I'm freaked out. Mind you, nothing like this has ever happened to me. Nor, I mean, I can't speak for my family members. They haven't told me if something has happened, but it hasn't happened in my family, in my household, like never. So I'm even scared to tell my mom, because nothing like this has happened. So I'm just thinking she won't believe me, but I'm freaked out to where I don't want to drive home. So I'm like, you know what? I just sucked it up, called her, and told her what happened. She like, okay, it's okay. And I told her, I'm like, Mom, I'm freaked out. I'm sorry, but my friend, at the time, she knew her. So I'm like, you know, my friend, she about to ride with me home. She just gonna stay with me tonight, because I can't ride home by myself. She's like, okay, I understand, that's okay. So I go pick my best friend up. She got her backpack and she ride me, and I'm explaining to her what happened, and she like, that was so scary, because she was like, even on her end, something just told her to call me. Like, she didn't even know what was going on, but something told her to call me. And it's like it wasn't going through. I wasn't picking up. And it freaked her out. And I'm just telling her what happened. I'm like, I'm so freaked out. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's about to happen tonight, but I'm so, like, scared. Yeah. So basically, she get in the car, we go home. And even then, like, now, even though she with me, I'm still kind of freaked out, like, because we still alone. We still two girls. We by ourselves. It's only so much we could do. So literally the whole ride home, we played gospel music. I don't know if y'all know that song, He's Able. That's my favorite gospel song. We played it the whole ride home because we were so freaked out. It helped calm me down, though, I'm not gonna lie. But by the time I got home, it was super late, so I didn't even have time to talk to Mom. I told my mom what happened, but she believed me, but she was just like, maybe she was like, well, give me the number. So I gave her the number, and she, like, I guess she called herself trying to help. So she was like, I guess she was gonna try to look it up or whatever, I don't know. But anyway, we went to bed that night. Everything was cool, nothing else weird happened. But I still to this day don't understand. Like, I don't understand what it was, what happened, why it happened. Like, I don't know what it was that flew by me. I don't know who called me. Like, it was just so weird, so weird. And nobody like, my mom don't really understand because she wasn't there, even though she did try to help. But nobody understands except for the ones that was there that night, and they can vouch for me. But my boyfriend can vouch for me. My old best friend, she can even vouch for me. If she sees the video, she be like, oh yeah, that definitely happened. Like, and so some of y'all, it might not be that big of a deal, or like y'all might have experienced worser things, but for me it was a big deal because I never even heard anything. You know how like some people growing up and then sleeping in a room at night scared of monsters or hearing stuff like that's never happened to me. Never had any type of like nothing like at all. So it was just so weird because I've never experienced anything, and I don't know why I did that night out of all nights. But I don't know, it was super weird. But I just wanted to share that story time because I'm pretty sure there's other people that can relate, other people that has happened to. Maybe I have way different stories, but that was my story. That's the first time I've ever experienced anything like that, and I'm just gonna speak it into existence the last time that has happened. Something like that has happened to me. So yeah, but I put it in the past. Even sometimes when I think about it, I don't let it bother me. I don't let it scare me, because that's how you give things power, is when you know, fear it or are scared of it. So yeah, it don't bother me. I'm not like freaked out. I'm one of those people where, you know, I still 100% believe that God got me no matter what. But at the same time, as much as God is real, you feel me, or as much as there is a heaven, there's also a hell. There is good, there's also evil. So I do believe that there are evil stuff out there, or there's also just supernatural things that we don't really understand. Some good, some bad. So it's not good to just completely think, oh, it don't exist. But like I said, don't be afraid, don't be scared, because that's how you give things power. Just live your life, have faith, you know, pray, and everything will be okay. That's how I got through my little situation. That's how I continue to get through. But yeah, that's the end of the story. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm just trying to remember that I didn't leave nothing out. Yeah, that was everything. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys hopefully I didn't freak you out. But I know y'all do like my story times. I love sitting down and doing story times. I have some more in mind, but like I said, I'm trying to spread them out a little bit. But if you have any ideas or anything that you want to hear from me as far as the story time, don't feel free to comment or DM me. If you need any advice, I know a lot of people see my story times and tend to ask me for advice if they relate. So if you need any advice, feel free to reach out. But yeah, y'all, I'm not going to continue to make the video any longer than what it has to be. Thank you so much for tuning in, like I always say. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you shout out my YouTube channel so we can continue to grow. It definitely does. I know I say it, but it definitely helps. I don't say it just to be wasting my breath. Every time somebody shouts me out, I gain at least 1 to 2 subscribers, so it definitely helps. But yeah, I love y'all so much. Thank you for supporting me, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
I do look, yeah, do. I do look, yeah, do. I do look, yeah. Feel it, feel it.